Welcome to Unshackled 2.0, where we do more than talk, we implement. In a world where we've got all the information we'll ever need to live amazing, healthy lives, most of us never actually change. Life gets in the way. At Unshackled, we learn to implement, to follow through, to get results. We'll study some of the best personal development books ever written, and you'll get guidance from Professor Becca on how to actually achieve the transformation promised. Tune in and finally experience the change you've been dreaming of all along. Welcome back. Here we go. Another show. I'm so excited. I have huge news today. I have an announcement. Get ready. Here we go. Okay, a little bit of backstory. I've already told you, but just in case you weren't there, I'm going to tell you again. I am starting an institute led by me, Professor Becca, where we get together and we spend 8 weeks reading some of the best personal development books out there. Although we do one at a time. We don't do more than one book at a time. And together we go through the book. I'm going to teach you the book in the sense that I've been doing that for 20 years, so I know how to help people really get a really clear understanding of what the author is saying. We're going to go through the book together, but not only that, we're going to implement. So we're going to read certain parts, meet once a week, talk through our own journeys as we implement, come back, share, and so on to the end of the book. And so we're going to implement the book together. This is the Unshackled Institute. And I am so excited. You're invited to the very first implementation lab. That's what I'm calling them. These are implementation labs where we show up, we read the book, we do the thing, we get the results. Now, that's happening not too long from now, but I don't know the date yet. It's going to start after my book is published. So because I don't know the date, it's going to be within a couple of months of you hearing this. And this is happening, I'm recording this in February 20-something. I don't know the date. Anyways, yeah, I don't know the date today. Actually, I don't at the moment. More importantly, here's what we're going to do in the meantime. In the meantime, we're going to do a book right here on the podcast, and I'm going to start on the 1st of March. So the 1st of March, 2024, we are going to start studying together. Are you ready? You ready for the book? I'm going to tell you the book, and I'm going to suggest you go and get it and get ready for March 1st. So I'm looking at it on Amazon. You can go and buy the book. It is called The 4 Agreements: A Practical Guide to Personal Freedom. This is written by Don Miguel Ruiz, an amazing book. It's a wisdom book, and I'm going to read you the write-up on Amazon. It says, in The 4 Agreements, best-selling author Don Miguel Ruiz reveals the source of self-limiting beliefs that rob us of joy and create needless suffering. Based on ancient Toltec wisdom, the 4 Agreements offers a powerful code of conduct that can rapidly transform our lives to a new experience of freedom, true happiness, and love. Oh my, I am so excited. It's a New York Times bestseller for over 8 years. Over 6 million copies have been sold in the US, and it's been translated into over 40 languages. Now, have you read this book? Hands up. Let me see your hands, please. Who's read the book? Let me see. Okay. Lots of you. Okay, awesome. Me too. Matter of fact, I was introduced to this book when I was in the treatment center in 2018. I had to be medically detoxed, medical supervision because I was so sick from alcohol. And then after that, I went into an 8-week residential treatment program so that I could start my life finally. And while I was in there, one of the counselors gave me this book. And it's an amazing little book. It's a short read. It's an easy short read. Well, I don't know if it's easy, but it is short. And starting on the 1st of March, I am going to show up right here and we're going to start reading it together. And so by that, by the way, I don't mean I'm going to sit here and read the book to you. That is not what we're doing, okay? You're going to read the book yourself, but we're going to talk about it together. So on March 1st, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the first agreement. So get ready. Actually, I'm not. Sorry. Take that back. I'm not going to delete this out of the recording. I'll just stop. Take it back. Take it back. If you wrote that down, erase it, because what we're going to do on the 1st of March, we're going to start with the introduction. So there's an introduction to the book, and then he goes into the first agreement. So I want you to show up, if you want to follow along with me, show up on the 1st of March having read the beginning of the book. So you want to read right up to the first agreement, and we'll talk about it and go through it. What does he mean? What's he it's amazing, okay? And then we'll meet up again a week later. So we'll have a whole week to read the next chapter and a week later. And it should take us a month to go through this book together. I'll be talking about it once a week, and I invite you to come along for this ride with me. So that means you've got a week from today to get the book. It's in all formats. You can get it in audiobook or ebook or hardcover. Maybe you've got it on your bookshelf. If you do and you've read it before, I encourage you to read it again before the 1st of March, which is next Friday from when I'm recording this. And we will start with the introduction. And we will then go from there to the first agreement. So I'm going to brush up on it. I've read it, I think, 3 times now, but it's been at least a year since I read it. So I'm going to get ready, and you're going to get ready. And on the 1st of March, together, we're going to start this. And we will do our first implementation lab, but we'll do it here on the podcast. After that, once I launch the Institute, the implementation labs will be on Zoom, and you're going to have to come and join me on Zoom if you want to do the next book. And I bet you can guess what the very first book will be that we will do on the implementation lab when I open the Institute. Can you guess? Yes, you got it. It's going to be mine. We got to do my book first, right? It's not published yet, so we'll start with this one here on the podcast. But once the Institute opens, which I've got it all set up, I'm just waiting for that book to come out. It is the book, the manuscript, by the way, is at the publisher. They are working on it. It is coming. And when I open the Institute, the first book we're going to study together is mine. And my book is called Unshackled: From Prostitute to Professor and How We Change. Unshackled: From Prostitute to Professor and How We Change. That's the title of my book. And I want you to, when it comes out, I'll let you know immediately. You can grab it and you can sign up. We'll do the implementation lab together we'll be meeting once a week on Zoom, and you will get the changes that I have outlined in my book. So my book goes from story to personal development, to story to personal development. So I go back and forth. So I tell a story, and the stories are all from my life. My journey as a prostitute on the street, my journey through cocaine addiction, my journey through exotic dancing, my journey through, there's some childhood journey, my journey to then getting into college and escaping that life, my journey through college as a drunk professor. So I did not sober up when I started teaching, and I did not sober up in college. Remember, I got sober in 2018. I started teaching in 2004. There's a bit of a journey there, okay? So I was, I guess, what you'd call functioning, but let me tell you, it was barely functioning. Anyway, that's all in the book. So that's going to come out in the book. So I tell the stories, but in between them, so there's a story and then a whole chapter on what I'm calling the takeaway. So what is the takeaway of that story? What did I learn? And that's the part we're going to implement. What I learned along the way, escaping that life, getting to the professorship, all of it. It's all in there. So I want you to give some serious thought to joining me on the first implementation lab of the Unshackled Institute. And in the meantime, I'm going to give you a taste of what that's going to be like by doing one right here on the podcast for anyone who wants to follow along. You don't have to sign up. You just got to show up. So March 1st, That's a Friday. We're going to start, and you need to show up having read the book and not read the book, sorry, bought the book and read the introductory chapter. I actually don't have the book in front of me, so I think it's called an introduction. It's the chapter that precedes the first agreement. That's what I want you to read, okay? I'm actually house sitting right now for a girlfriend, so I don't have my book with me. But you'll figure it out. Just read the introduction that he writes that leads up to the very first agreement. And then over the following 4 weeks, we will cover the 4 agreements. And I'm telling you, these 4 agreements alone can change your life. So if you haven't read it, you're in for a massive treat. This is an excellent book. Oh, so exciting. So much happening in 2024. It's actually hard for me to believe the gifts that life brings when we learn how to implement and we learn how to grow. And when we don't give up our dreams, anything can happen. Anything can happen. So don't give up on yourself. There's just way too much to get excited about. Sending you tons of love. Bye for now. Thanks for popping in. If you're enjoying the show, why not share it with those in your life who are looking to actually implement change? We need each other on this journey. And don't forget to send me back some love. Maybe today is your day to take action and write me a review.